Everybody, Trevor here, TNT Overhaul, working on a 2009 Cadillac CTS 3.6 liter. We're going to replace that alternator. Customer brought it in, already tested, plus on the heads-up display, and the car gets down like 12 volts. So we're going to go ahead and throw it on. First things first, you want to disconnect your battery, obviously. If I can focus. 13 millimeter, and that'll pull these two cables off. Get them out of your way. Second thing, can't get to that sucker with this PCM in the way. On the back side, these two tabs right here and over there, you get a flathead screwdriver behind them, pull them up, and then that whole assembly will come off of these clips. So get that done, and then we'll get what looks like 1/2-inch ratchet or serpentine tool. I've got both, and we'll get that belt off of there. We'll go from there. Alright, so I've got my 1/2-inch breaker bar. Probably sell him a serpentine belt too, wouldn't you say? Anyway, we'll get that on there. Maybe. And we'll bring it back. So I need two hands to do this. But you pull it back, you can see the tension. You just pull the belt right off the alternator. Okay. So you see that plug back there with the red and black wire, and then there's the big red wire to the left of it. We're going to unplug both of those. I'm going to do the little plug now, and I'll probably do the cable once I get these bolts loose and I pull the alternator out a little bit. So we'll go ahead and unplug that. It's just a simple, if you can still see, little squeeze and pull kind of setup. And eventually I'm going to get a GoPro or something so I can have both hands. So anyway, we'll get that loose. If I can, I already popped it. I just got to get grip on her. There we go. Anyway, let me get you set up on pulling the bolts out. I think there's 3, one on top and then 2 on bottom. So let's do that. Alright, it is 15 millimeter. So I'm going to do a 15 shallow on top. And then we'll do the deep on bottom. Alright. Here's my other arm here. Okay. And that's the top ones. Now we'll get the bottom ones. So like I said, I'm using the deep well for the bottom bolts. There are 2. They are 15 millimeter. So that's the one in the front. And the other one is just to the right of it, towards the firewall. Looks like we're going to need the shallow for that one. Okay. So shallow on top and shallow for the bottom back one. See if this gets on there better. Okay. We're on, baby. Alright, so we'll get that one loose. Goodness, that one's unnecessarily tight. Alright. Okay. Once you get those 3 out, pull her forward. This is when we'll go ahead and get this power cable off. Pull the rubber back, if you know what I'm saying. Sorry. Alright, so that is a 13 millimeter socket or wrench, whatever you want. I've got a socket over here. That is what we'll use. Okay. Alright, sorry about my furnace, it's loud. So once you get her loose with one hand, you finagle her right on up out of here. Okay. He's also in here for diagging an oil leak, so that should make it a little easier with that out of the way. Alright, so let's see if we can sell him a serpentine belt, and we'll get the other alternator put back on. Let's do it. Alright, new alternator ready to go. So we'll set it back on down in there, and we'll do the power cable first, and then we'll start putting it back together. Let's do it. Alright, so we got that on. Once you get tightened down, make sure you put your rubber back on, you know what I'm saying? With the rubber jokes. Sorry about my arm. She's on. Now we'll put it back into position and throw the 3 bolts in. And then we'll start that tightening process. Sorry. Alright. Okay. Another thing I think I forgot to mention. There are 2 are exactly the same length. This one and the one that goes in the top. Now this one is the bottom front. That's the short one, bottom front. So anyway, just so you know. Alright, now I like to get the top one started and then go ahead and do the bottom ones. Snug the bottom ones up first, then get the top one last. And then we'll plug in that plug over there. Alright, so get those tightened up. Again, they're 15 millimeters. I use the shallow on the bottoms. I'm sorry. Shallow on the back bottom, deep well on the front. I mean, theoretically, you can use the shallow all the way around. That's just how I did it. So we'll get that, and then we'll get that plug, and then we'll put the belt on. Alright, so we're doing the top last. Don't go too tight. I'm not sure what the torque specs are, but you've been doing it a while, you know. Now we'll get this little pluggy plug block back in. Okay. She's in. Now we'll put the serpentine belt back on, so grab your breaker bar and let's go to work. Sorry, I have poor lighting as well. Alright, so I left it all routed exactly how it was, so see the belt slack right there. So we'll turn the tensioner, grab the belt with your other hand, and put it back on there. So I'll put it down for this. Alright, customer did not want to buy a belt, so you don't have to worry about that right now. Alright, so at this point, we're going to put the power supply cables back on. Put that one last. This big pain in the butt will go first. Knock it off. This is so difficult with one hand. I need to get the GoPro. Alright. So anyway, plug in your power cable. Again, 13 millimeter. Not too tight. Now, we'll put the PCM back in this bracket. It's kind of hard to do with this battery cover on, so you just want to be careful. This is plastic though, so you shouldn't have to worry. So just steer clear of it. Like so. Locked on. Sorry again about the light. Boom! So now we'll put the trim pieces back on. I'll show you that real quick because I didn't show you that at the beginning. Okay, this one goes over here. And it just pops down on those, excuse me, rubber pieces. This big mammy jammy. I better move my autel. Alright, so she goes on like so. Line up all our holes, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, and then the trim pieces go on right here. Sorry, right here. Alright, so we'll get those back on. Alright, so that's how the side trim goes and the weather stripping. Now you want to put your bolts in. Alright, these are the plastic clips. Go in and screw them down by hand. Alright, once you get it all back together, if you want to fire it up and verify your voltage is good, which I already did. I just used a scanner, but you know, if you're at home, your heads-up display on these Cadillacs will tell you, especially if you're low on voltage, but you can go through and watch the voltage even when it's good. Yeah, or you can use a voltmeter right there. Just check your output. And so let's get the wheel cap back on there and then we're done. So I hope this helps somebody. Thanks for watching, and like, subscribe, share, leave some comments if you need any help. I'll try to get to you. Thanks so much. Bye.